want to play you a clip from a comedian. I just want to be fully transparent here. D.L Hughley. I think most consider the DL stands for Down Low Hughley. Was on with Don Lemon, two DLs. Well, Don Lemon's actually not on the Down Low, but Down Low Hughley was on with Don Lemon. And I want you to listen to where this is. D.L Hughley hosts a nationally syndicated radio show that has some popularity among black listeners and viewers. I want you to listen to the way this man talks about Charlie Kirk, someone I'm sure he's never met, someone that I'm sure he knows virtually nothing about, someone that he's tried to analyze through sound bites, distorted, out of context sound bites about Charlie Kirk. Let's play shot number one.
They bantering the word assassination around. Charlie Kirk was not a political figure. I mean, he might have been influential to political figures. He wasn't a political figure. He wasn't assassinated. He was shot. He was shot. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, that happens to far too many people. But those other two congressmen, they were political figures, and they were shot because of their political beliefs. And it's always like we can only have empathy for people if we relate to them, if we spark to them, if we have a tribal connection to them. It is a shame. And the thing that makes me the angriest about this is I always swore that I would never cede my humanity to anybody or any other situation, but that's getting more and more difficult to do because I certainly don't believe a young man 31 years old should have lost his life. But Charlie Kirk was a horrible human being. He said horribly incendiary things. As a matter of fact, he died. The very last words he spoke were basically putting the onus of gun violence on gangs, which is a synonym for synonymous with black people. He blamed the very way he died was lying about black people with his last breath. And I just think the best thing I can say is that I hope he believed what he was saying. I hope he believed that lives being lost were worth it so the Second Amendment can persevere. I hope he believed that there should be a lack of empathy. He was parsing between sympathy. Sympathy means we have a similarity. Empathy means I have nothing to do with you, but I can still feel your pain as a human being. And I hope he believed all the rhetoric he espoused, because if not, that was certainly an empty, vacant way to live, and certainly a horrible way to die.
That's a justification for killing Charlie Kirk. And this is what's prevalent among the left. They're figuring out ways. Hey, Charlie Kirk caught one in the neck, but, he earned it. He said things that I disagreed with. Someone asked a question about mass shootings, and Charlie Kirk asked for context. Now, hey, are we talking about mass school shootings, basically, or are we talking about the kind of everyday gang violence that sometimes we do count in mass shootings, sometimes we don't? He asked a question of clarity, and this demon-possessed, down-low comedian turns it into, what slander against black people. And he's doing this as if gang violence among black people isn't a real problem that terrorizes neighborhoods that black people live in. Where's your empathy or sympathy, Down Low? Where is it? Do you not care about the black people that live in these conditions and face this random gun violence, which is really gang violence, which is really prison culture violence? Do you not care? Should it go unaddressed? Should Charlie Kirk mimic your indifference to it? Because you don't care about those Negroes, because you don't live among those Negroes. You live off in some gated community surrounded by white people. And clearly, somebody, some organization, NAACP, ADL, I don't know, but some organization has you by the balls because you're DL. They know your secrets. And when I think about Charlie Kirk and what made him so dangerous and what made him near the top or at the top of Satan's most wanted list. And this is what I talk about on this show constantly. And this is what I confess and repent from, and am imploring you all to join Charlie in living a righteous and holy life. They didn't have the dirt, the necessary dirt, on Charlie to control him because he lived righteously, because he found a wife and was loyal to her, because he wasn't on some internet site looking up child pornography, looking up scheduling meetings with hookers. He wasn't doing that. They didn't have the necessary dirt on Charlie. So he had the freedom to say what he actually wanted. And he had the freedom because he was a prolific writer and he wrote books, and because he had so much success, that he had the freedom to say, you know what? I can do with less money. And if this costs me, if taking this position or that position ends up costing me money, I can do that. And you can do that when your wife and kids are under your roof and you haven't gone through divorce and haven't had to sacrifice 50% of your wealth and then have to pay child support, and your kids living outside your home and get remarried and have to support a second family. This man lived righteously. And if you've heard anything from me over the course of 4.5 years or however long we've been doing this show, it's me telling you, those of you that haven't been living righteously, repent, confess, and go a different direction. I had to leave Los Angeles. I've had to go to real extremes to shake the dirt off my feet, to shake the lust out of my heart. I've had to do some really extreme things. You don't want to have to be me. But the only way we fix the problems we have in America, it's not just talking tough on Twitter. It's not just being outspoken. You have to be, my lust, I have to give it up. My worship of money, I have to give it up. You got to get right with God. It's the only way. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.